interest of Evelyn Nerezzo and Alice Mendez. We're here on an initial permanency hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming. All right. Mr. Martinez is alleged father Daniel Martinez, I show is in custody. And he's not present. Okay. Is that correct? Let me just make sure. Ms. Hill, is he still? Where is he? Is he in?
He's in Potter County Detention
Potter
Center.
County? Okay. He was personally served. Ms. Katie, since he is in jail, I think we need to look at going ahead and appointing an attorney to represent him.
He
Yes,
has
ma'am.
an attorney?
He does not at this point in time.
Okay.
But because he's incarcerated at this point in time, he's going to qualify. So we'll go ahead and get someone appointed to represent him before the next hearing. All right, then. Let's see. Ms. Hill, if you will, then unmute and raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear that you'll tell us the truth this morning?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll let you give us an update and we'll see who's got questions.
So as of right now, Alice is doing well in her placement. She is a very happy young girl. Since I've gotten the case, she's really made a big change, especially academically. She's doing so much better while she's in school. She is up to date on all of her medical appointments. And then Evelyn, she's doing well in her placement as well. She does well in daycare, and she's developmentally on target, and she's also up to date on all of her medical appointments. And then, so we were looking at doing a goal change. We were going to change those goals to unrelated adoption as the primary, and then the concurrent goal would be relative or fictive kin adoption. Cheyenne is also doing well. She has made lots of calls on looking at getting some services started, and looking at getting a job, and she has stable housing, and as of right now, she's doing good.
Okay, so there's been some pretty significant change since the court report was filed then. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So just in the last few weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
Has she started any of her services yet?
She has started her parenting class. She's only completed one class, but we are looking at getting her switched over to an in-person parenting class that she feels would be better for her. She has done her rational behavior therapy and her psychosocial, and then she has an OSAR appointment scheduled for April 21st. For January and February, she wasn't drug screening, but she did go ahead and drug screen for March, and that was positive. And then she is also in therapy, and she shows up for those appointments most of the time.
What was she positive for on the drug test?
She was positive for methamphetamines, amphetamines, and then marijuana.
And what about visits?
Visits, she does show up for her visits most times. However, she does have times where she either has not shown or she's late. But as of recent, she's been showing up on time, and they've been going well.
What were the levels on the drug test in March as far as the methamphetamine?
Those were 6,981.
Is that higher or lower than what we had before? If
That
we had anything.
is higher.
All right, what drug treatment have we started on?
She has not started a drug treatment. All we have for her is OSAR. Also, she is currently pregnant right now.
When's she due?
I believe she's about 5 months. I'm not too sure on when she's due. She hasn't started prenatal care yet.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Has she scheduled an OSAR?
Yes, it's for April 21st.
Okay, you may have said that and I missed it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Is she working?
No, ma'am, she does not have a job right now, but she just recently applied to Domino's.
All right. All right, since Mr. Barfield's not, well, let me just ask you, Ms. Hill, anything else, Ms. Hill?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sosa, can you unmute for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, since Mr. Barfield isn't here, I'm gonna just ask you some questions. So when are you due?
I am not sure when I'm due. I have not had an OBGYN or any prenatal care as of yet.
Okay. You have something scheduled now?
I did with Regions Health Network. I did miss that appointment, and then when I recalled, when I called to reschedule, they did say because of, I guess, my past when I was pregnant with my 5-year-old and I tried to go through them, I was high risk because of my seizures, so they will not take me. But I have applied for the JOY clinic and filled that application out and just waiting to hear back from them.
Okay. Do we have any avenues through Texas Tech? that you might know about?
Texas Tech will not take me as a patient since about 5 years ago when I was pregnant with
Yeah.
Alice Mendez. I was discharged from them for a lot of missed appointments and no call, no shows on the appointments.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Sosa, I'm gonna say some kind of hard stuff to you right now.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not working. You're pregnant. Now would be a great time for you to think about inpatient rehab, followed up by a longer, intensive outpatient type program. Have you considered something like Downtown Women's Center or Martha's Home or something like that?
Yes, ma'am. I did call. This was a while back. I did call Martha's home, and they did say that it's not for women in recovery per se, that to call the Downtown Women's Center. And I did call them and put in the application. I've got to be 2 weeks sober prior to getting in with them. And they suggested Serenity in Plainview. I really was set on going back to Nexus, and I've made many calls out to them. I don't think that they are, I don't know, like active for inpatient or anything because I've never got through to anyone. Here recently, I've thought about just going to the detox center that I went to 2 years ago and going from there to see what, like, because they help you get into like inpatient, or they'll help me um, come back here. And by then, if I'm 2 weeks sober, I can hopefully get into the Haven program with the Downtown Women's Center.
Okay. Reason I'm asking all this and suggesting this to you is, you're expecting, and you know, so I'm just gonna ask you point blank, I mean, do you want to be able to keep this baby and care for this baby?
No, ma'am. Not in a rude way, but I my main focus and I guess want is to get my girls back, and when this baby comes, hope hopefully this baby can go to a really good family.
Okay. Have you talked with your attorney about that?
Very briefly.
Okay. Have you talked to Ms. Hill about that
Yes, ma'am.
and your counselor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, some of these programs, you know, will allow you to keep an infant with you if you're dedicated and working their program. But I understand you may have alternate plans, and that's fine. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to persuade you one way or the other. I'm just want you to have options, okay? So
Yes.
to be clean and in a program when this baby arrives, you know, that's going to give you the most options.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So keep making those phone calls, and if you need help, Ms. Hill can hopefully help you with some of that. Because I'd sure like to see you get in one of those really good programs.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Zavala? Any questions for Ms. Hill or anything to add today?
Yeah, I would like to clarify on Ms. Sosa's visits. Are those virtual or in person?
Right now, her visits are virtual.
And they have been for a while, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, no other questions at this time.
Okay.
I don't know if you're ready for my information.
I believe I am.
Okay. I have met with both the girls and got to see them in an in-person sibling visit. They are so bonded and connected, and it was really wonderful to see them get that in-person time. I had believed that the visits with mom were virtual. The earlier testimony was really scaring me, and I was going to be asking for any in-person to stop. You know, what we're looking at now is we've got positive meth tests back in October, no shows, and then positive, and I am this is my second case to work with this family, and I'm very concerned about where we are and the lack of progress. And I don't say that to be discouraging for Ms. Sosa. I sincerely hope she gets the help that she needs. And I understand that St. Francis has their own decision-making process. I don't quite understand what about what's going on now would back off the goals that were initially stated. I'm not seeing a reunification case at this point, and I'm very concerned about any in-person contact with the girls and mom, and I do very much hope she gets the help that she needs. Currently, the girls are both in very good placements. There may be some changes in those placements going forward, but that will be after the school year. And it will be when there's a detailed plan going forward to make sure that there's significant continued contact with both of those placements, even if they are no longer placement. But I do feel like the team's working together to come to the best outcome for the girls.
All right, so maybe I misunderstood, but is the stated goal still unrelated adoption, concurrent fictive kin adoption? We didn't change that, did we?
Maybe I misunderstood the testimony. It sounded like they were going to make that the goal, and then they backed off of that to keep it reunification, but I may have misunderstood.
Yeah, let's clarify.
So the goals are being changed to unrelated adoption and relative fictive kin adoption.
Okay,
Those will change in our, we agreed upon the change on the 25th, so
okay, all right. Well, based on the lack of progress at this point in time, I think that's probably where we need to head right now. Now, Ms. Sosa, you've still got some time, you know, and again, I think an intensive inpatient program is your best bet at this point. So just telling you again what I think, but, you know, continue to look into that.
Yes,
All right, I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the children's current placements. Find there is a continuing danger to return the children home to either parent at this time. I would find that neither parent is in compliance with their service plan at this point in time. But I encourage Ms. Sosa to stick with it and keep going. You know, you're starting, so don't let this discourage you. Keep working at it. All right, I'll see everybody back for our next review hearing, July 28th of 2026. And that will be on a 9 o'clock docket. And then the final is scheduled for October 1st of 2026 on a 9 o'clock docket. Ms. Sosa, I'll just tell you, I was ready to set an early final in this case today. But because you're cooperating right now and you're in touch with us and you're working with us and you've drug tested for us, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you the time to, you know, try to turn all this around. So, just keep doing what you're doing right now.
thank you.
All right. I'll see you back in July. You're free to go.
Thank you.